We did have a period, I would say a couple of months after Mike died, when we started seeing some anger in Kevin. And I remember that he was just upset. He was angry, and his temperament changed. And one night, he and I were really clashing. And I just said to him, Kevin, what is wrong? What is wrong with you? And he said, I'm mad because my dad died.
Anger is a wonderful emotion. You know, anger and guilt are two great emotions. You have to go through the wall to get to the other side. And anger and guilt are the wall. Knock them down, one brick at a time, or one area at a time. Deal with those kinds of issues, but to ignore them only means that sometime later on you're going to have to deal with it.
I cannot envision being 12, 11, 10, and losing a mom or dad. I cannot envision that. But having him around me has taught me the pain that kids have.
When my mom first died, I had the thoughts that, like, I had been cheated because I kept thinking, like, why it happened to me. And then as I grew up, I just realized that it wasn't my fault, and that everything happened for a reason.
I think Larry is accepting that his mother is gone. I really do. And each day he gets stronger and stronger.
Older children really feel cheated. You know, I don't understand why this happened. What did I do about it? And everybody else has the intact, perfect family where they've never experienced this. That's how children think very concretely. Everybody has this, I don't. And my family has been cheated, and I've been cheated. And this has to be handled very carefully, because if people who feel cheated can carry that their whole lives.
What's really important for us to understand is there's no right way to grieve, there's no wrong way to grieve. Again, I've been in this business close to 30 years, and nobody's ever given me a prescription to hand down to a family and say, this is how you need to grieve for the loss of this particular individual.
And that was one reason why we did something some people might have thought was strange, but he died on October 28th. And Kevin's school had a Halloween party the day of the wake. And Kevin very much wanted to go to that Halloween party. And Kevin and I left the funeral home, and we went to school, and he went to his party with his friends. And he was able to joyfully get right into that party.
Children do have a more vivid imagination than adults. Children are able to be sad one minute and happy the next.
You cannot take the kid out of being a kid. I mean, kids do not have the ability to be intense on a 12-hour day. If it's a 10 o'clock funeral in the morning, they're not going to be up at 10 o'clock at night with the same intensity of that. They're going to need to go play a video game. They're going to want to have a friend over. They're going to want to get to the computer. They're going to want to make some phone calls. They're going to want to be kids. And so be prepared that kids are kids, and you cannot take the kid out of being a kid.
The school responded in a wonderful way. Every single child made a card. Kevin did not go to bed that night until he looked at every single card.
And I try to tell kids, you'll never, ever be wrong by reaching out. Now, that child may not receive you in the way that you have reached out to them, but you've reached out. That's all you can do at that particular point. And that's what kids really need, is to know that people care about them.
My friends helped me by, like, being there for me. They didn't know what to say to me a lot of times, so what they did was just, like, listen a lot, because most of my friends haven't experienced death like I had.
I don't like the idea of when someone dies that suddenly you can't talk about them anymore. I want to talk about them. I want to keep them alive. We have a lot of pictures of Mike around the house.
It's very important for them to remember their mother. And I will continue to include her spirit in everything we do.
We have to take somebody's life, celebrate it, make sure that we again go back to the celebration of life, the celebration of love, and the celebration of the legacy that moves on. That's really important for kids, and it's also important to let them know that it's okay to feel sad, and that there is, you know what, life begins anew. This is a new beginning.
Clearly, when you lose a parent at a very, very young age, there's changing feelings over time. The days when he's playing on his soccer team and baseball team and there's no dad on the sidelines, those moments are yet to come. So he hasn't fully experienced everything that goes along with this. This is a lifetime experience, and I know that.
I think it was really as time went on and they were outside and there was no one on the other side of the fence that it really became more and more real to them. Even now, I think that package is still being unwrapped.
To realize that we need to love our parents, our siblings, our friends, our grandparents. We need to love them as much as we possibly can when they're here. Because the bottom line, we're all gonna die. We're all